Good day, and welcome to It's Red. And we are dealing with days 9 and 10 in this episode. Unfortunately, I had faced a few challenges on those days. One was Mother Nature because it rained a lot. And the other was we had GPS issues and film camera issues, and I will go into that in a moment. Okay, so the Mother Nature issue. It deals with my equipment. I have this 360-degree camera, the Insta360 1X2. Really like it. Yes, it's waterproof. However, after the first month of ownership, I ran into a problem. I had it on a selfie stick attached to my bike at an angle, and when I rode away, the wind caught it and forced it down, and it hit the roadway. And you can't see it here, maybe you can, but it opened up part of the casing. I filled that in with some plastic goop and sealed it, and I'm pretty sure it's waterproof, so that part's okay. But if you want to use an external microphone for better audio, which I'm always attempting to, I may not have succeeded in that, you have to get this audio adapter, and you remove the door on the camera and you plug this in. Well, that makes it not exactly watertight either. So I can't really put out in the weather elements for fear of damaging this camera. So I usually opted not to videotape in inclement weather. So that was a choice. And as a result, I don't have much video for the days that rained. The itinerary for day 9 and 10 got switched about. However, Jim and I did leave Frenchman's Cove, and we did have breakfast at Marystown in a fast food restaurant. Then we headed off for Gooby's Irving Big Stop, and then we went to the town of Brigus, where we had an incident. And after that, we went on to Rob's cabin in Markinson's. As you saw in the opening, you saw the camera, the picture, and it goes right down to the gravel. Well, what happened was that the camera was on my tripod. We had gotten lost, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. And I put the camera on the tripod, and I was going to videotape me riding by it. Well, the wind caught it. Oh, actually, what actually happened was I thought I had the camera on, but I turned the video off. And then when I turned what I thought turning the video off, turned the camera on again. So I didn't catch that footage. Another problem. So here I have the camera out in the middle of the road, and the wind catches it and blows it down. I immediately grab the camera and inspect the lens, and I find that it's cracked. And you can see a couple of spots here and there where the lens is covered. There, you see that mark in the center? That. Anyway, Jim's down the road behind me, right down there, and he will be coming back with his trailer after he does the U-turn. Fortunately, I bought lens guards, these plastic units that glue over top of the 360-degree lens. So it shattered the one lens on one side. And I panicked and I didn't know what to do, so I just put the camera away and I didn't shoot for the rest of the day. The next day I peeled off the lens and examined it, and the lens was fine. And I used it cautiously, because if you scratch the lens on these things, you're toast. So I was very careful not to scratch the lens. So there are a few more episodes with video from this camera, but without that lens guard. The road we were supposed to be on is just on the other side of this cemetery roughly 3 meters away. And that's where the GPS got confused. The accuracy of GPS is roughly 3 meters, I think that's what it says in the books, give or take a meter. So what happens when you're on a road that's parallel to the one that you're supposed to be on? The GPS thinks you're on the road that you're not on, which you are actually on. Do you get my drift? So we have two roads running parallel and they slightly differ, but I'm on this one and the GPS thinks it's on this one. And we continue on and diverge. And what happened that day was the road finished and there was no getting out of it, and we had to do a U-turn and come back. That's one of those things. There's always operator error with a GPS. I'm using a FOD spot. It's proven to be very good for the most part, but if I'm not super accurate on where I put a waypoint or a shaping point, or it may recalculate for some other reason, it loses the track or puts us on the wrong track or says we're somewhere where we're not supposed to be. That happened to us. But however, I have, luckily, a forum member was selling off his Zumo 590 and I picked it up for a good price and I'm pleased with it. So I have a new toy and a big learning curve with Basecamp and the Zumo Garmin 590 LM. The rain clouds are moving in, but we take a moment to take a few pictures from the cemetery of Brigus, get ourselves back to the right road, and get to the tunnel. The Brigus Tunnel. The Brigus Tunnel was built for Captain Abraham Bartlett by the Cornish miner John Hoskins during the summer of 1860. Its purpose was to provide easy access to the Bartlett Wharf, which projected into the deep water at its outer end. Since the holes into which the blasting charges were placed had to be drilled by hand, a special forge was constructed near the site for keeping the drills sharpened. The only explosive used was black gunpowder. The job was completed after 4 months of strenuous labor. The tunnel is 18 feet long. Captain Robert Abraham Bartlett was born in Brigus, Newfoundland. Captain Bob followed a family tradition of life at sea. He commanded the Roosevelt during Peary's Arctic expedition of 1905-06, accompanied Peary to the last relay point on the trek to the pole in 1908-1909, and commanded the Karluk in the Canadian Arctic expedition of 1913-18. Between 1926 and 1945, he made annual voyages in the Arctic, and though unschooled in the sciences, won professional recognition for his major contribution to the knowledge of the northern waters and their wildlife. He is buried in Brigus. As the weather is beginning to sock in, we decide to call it a day and head towards Rob's cabin. Day 10. We leave Rob's cabin in the morning, head to Harbor Grace, then to Heart's Content, then down to Dildo, and after that, we head off to St. John's, to Pippi Park. In the morning, we get ourselves sorted. I test out my camera to make sure it's doing okay. And then I take a moment to go outside and fly my drone. And we catch a bit of mist in a second as we fly up, and there the mist comes in. We had to deal with that for most of the morning. after flying the drone, pack up, get ourselves organized, head ourselves out to Harbor Grace, fuel up there, and go to the Amelia Earhart tribute. Over 150 years ago, the first successful transatlantic telegraph cable was landed at Heart's Content, reducing the time to communicate across the Atlantic from weeks to minutes. The technology revolution had begun and changed the way we communicate. This little Newfoundland town leaped into the history books and remained a global communications hub for over a century. The cable station is a time capsule of communications technology that connected us all right up to the 1960s. The telegram that my parents sent to my grandparents announcing my birth went through this place. After our tour of the facility, we were treated to cake and a little bit of a lunch. They were celebrating. After Heart's Content, we motored on down to the wonderful community of Dildo, Newfoundland. We took a few photographs, enjoyed the scenery, had a look at the harbor, and it was getting late in the day, so we made our way off to St. John's, to Pippi Campground in the heart of St. John's. Here was Jim's rig, known as Old Guy on a Bike, and you can just see the tarp of my hammock in the background. And we spent about 3 days there in all, and did some day trips, which will be coming in the next few episodes. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press like. You can subscribe if you wish. Have a great day.